jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back
Morning and shout out to the hottest chat in the MF and game. A-Side official. No negotiation needed, period. You already know Mike is the first in the building. Salute to you and everybody else is en route that will be on deck. Hit the like button. Let's get right down to it. You see the topic, boxing gossip. Is social media a real problem or fighters wasting time sparring narratives? I want to first make it very clear that I don't have a problem with Shakur as a fighter. You know what I'm saying? My more so my live is going to be more so him as a person right now. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I have had a bit of criticism on some of his performances. This is all about his direction, though. It's not so much him as a fighter because he's a technically sound boxer. But we see too much of the new school that's going on, arguing with total strangers online. Shout out to Trick Noti, the Oracle in the building. Salute to you. What's good with it, Trick? How you feeling, bro? Shout out to Mr. International, one and only Toby Bartlett is on deck. Salute to across the pond. Salute WCS in the hottest chat in the YTC. We're global, baby. We're global. You already know what it is, Toby. So my dilemma is listening to what Shakur has to say. Listen to what a lot of other fighters have to say. I'm speaking about miscellaneous topics that don't favor them in the brightest light, right? That's social media. I want to ask you right off the rip, Shakur, what are you not happy about? You are a Olympic silver champion. You are an Olympic silver champion. You earned your Olympic medal. Even though it wasn't what you wanted and it caused you to be emotionally invested and just basically releasing your disappointment on national TV, and they will forever remind you of that. But I said a long time ago, Shakur, I said this should keep you driven, hungry. And it has. It allowed you to cover 3 weight divisions up to this point. It allowed you to unify 130, man. You're doing your thing. But you don't want to get to a point where you're becoming irrelevant or unimportant to people regardless of what your accomplishments are. You felt some type of way when this was released, right? You was busy out here trying to explain to people that, it was purposely done. People were making their rounds or whatever. Me, myself, I thought you went in there and, you fought a different fight than you did previously. And yes, you was more aggressive, but I totally agree with what post-fight analysis that was given by your mentor, Terrence Crawford, is that, yeah, you was moving, but you weren't letting your hands go. I'm just being honest with you, Shakur. That's what your mentor told you. You was moving, but you wasn't letting your hands go. And you had told Andre Ward that you thought he told you to go right, and then Arlen went left. I mean, it's not like the fighters don't have ears that's posted on the left and right side of their cranium. So maybe they heard you. The point that's disturbing to me is whether you plan on going with this because you're at a point where you're much older and you have individuals that are looking at you in a certain way as far as your performances, and they are providing you criticism. Not all the criticism is constructive, but they're giving you criticism, Shakur. You already know it comes with the territory. It comes with the territory. And you know what? Just like Shad News say, you have options, man. You have absolutely options whether to tune in and entertain this or to leave it alone. If you tune in and entertain this type of negativity, it is like solar energy. All they have to do is put it out there, and you're going to make sure that that tweet gets enough attention that it needs, and it's going to operate off the attention and interest that you provide. All it's doing is they're placing these dang tweets out there, and you're just giving it all the energy, just like solar energy, bro. So how are you gonna change the mindset of all these freaking fans and everybody that's tuning in who has something to say about you? You know what I'm saying? Because this what I don't understand all of a sudden. The fighters. I don't want to say you fighters because it's not all you fighters. Like in the military, we can't group everybody together, but sometimes when one person fucked up, all of us did go down for it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that's just the way it happened. But when you look back on it, you know what I'm saying? Everybody can't fit in the foxhole. You know what I'm saying? If somebody see you crouching down in a barrel with plenty of other people, they're not going to just automatically do it unless that's what their mentality consists of. You know, a lot of us just walk up and say, hey, what do y'all got going on? You know what I'm saying? Why y'all all in there? What's the point? And something's look a little strange here. And they're going to start asking questions. And that's why I want to ask you, Shakur, why do you pay so much attention to social media? And then you want to make your life about negativity, responding to negativity. And then you want to group a platform. You know what I'm saying? You want to group a platform. Really, if you be honest there, Stevenson, there's no such thing as YouTubers. There's no such thing as YouTubers. Because people are not going around who frequent X all the time and say you X components. You know what I'm saying? You X operative. You Xers. Giving them big names. Just think about it, Shakur. They're not going around on X. Oh, you X operatives. Look at the X ops. They're not coming up with some crazy name because you on Twitter all the time. So there's no such thing as YouTubers. Why did I say that? Because it's a platform. Some people are able to access it and some are not. The words of some isn't the word of all. But the troublesome part about the way you go about it, it's almost like you're tormenting yourself because you want to take everything somebody says about you and you're a celebrity. You know what I'm saying? You're at a higher status than most. You train with some of the greats. You're an Olympic champion. You're an Olympic boxing champion. You have had situations in your personal life that play out on the big screen. Yes, you have. But also you've been in a situation where you have been extremely messy. And you have been on here gossiping. So I'm saying, how do you get past that? You know what I'm saying? Why don't you just focus on this right here? If someone creates this, shout the boxing habit, and you have yourself, you see yourself on there, and some of the box are checked off in your favor, and some aren't. Been an undisputed champion. There's a no. Beaten a reigning pound for pound fighter. No. So out of the five, if 3 out of the 5 greens up for you there, Shakur Stevenson, don't you think it's more imperative for you to pay attention to shit that matters? This is things that matter in your career. Shouldn't you be trying to get into the mix to say, hey, I wanna before I leave the sport, I wanna really be remembered for fighting this fight with that person or having this performance in this particular arena. I want to be remembered. They're not going to talk about you based off you being on social media and not being able to allocate your time properly. Like you allocating your time on X and trying to say these YouTubers are the biggest liars. I hear boxers lying about sparring all the time. How can you say anything about the YouTubers being the biggest liars when you're on YouTube? When you all love for a channel that has a person that has a YouTube channel that have you on for an interview, if they have the allotted numbers, you know what I'm saying, the sufficient numbers for y'all. You say these YouTube are the biggest liars. They get paid to make a story that create the most views. Hopefully y'all not dumb enough to believe all the lies that they're putting out there. Believe none of what you hear and half of what you see. And my retort to that is, you have been on the YTC. You have been on here several times, immersed in full-fledged drama. Full-fledged drama. You have been on here arguing back and forth with several dozen different people. You have been on here arguing, man, going back and forth. Your fight is in fight camp and inside the ring. And then the fight that you want to be transparent based off your performances is expanding your fan base, your consumers that's out here supporting Shakur Stevenson. That's what it really is about. It's easy for you to look on here for negativity and then go and say, well, these YouTubers are the biggest liars. It's a lot of people that will call you a liar. You know, it's a lot of people that will have something to say about, you know, what you put out here. If you know the format of the YTC and the platform is set up to the point where, hey, we would like to have Shakur Stevenson on, and then you choose because your people or yourself who did the research, because not all the channels that you go on, because you went on some channels that then, you know, have big subscriber count, and you was on there, you know, arguing with regular average people that didn't give a F about you, bro. You chose to squander that time in your life. You did. You selectively chose to sit down, be on somebody else's platform, and let them talk to you crazy. All because you wanted to prove to them you are who you say you are. You selected to make that move. So we should be questioning, why are you spending so much time on the YTC, the YouTube community? But yet you're up here criticizing the YouTubers, so to speak, for being liars. Before social media was even created, Stevenson, humanistically, we lied. It's called a sin. We have a choice to tell the truth or lie. In reality, you have lied in your life. Everybody's opinion is just that. But for you to say they get paid, bro, they'll turn around and tell you, Shakur, you get paid to fight. So if you're worrying about the YouTubers getting paid to do social media content, then maybe you should create your own channel and you get paid. You're Shakur Stevenson, right? You consider yourself one of the best boxers in the sport, right? You consider yourself a big time name. You're above the average person, right? Create your own channel. Create your own channel so you can get monetized and put content out. That's all you have to do. But to continue to feed into somebody else's tweets over and over again and provide them exposure to people that you don't even know. People that will say something negative to you fighters. I'm talking to the fighters. You have these people that don't give a damn about you and say something negative about you, and you'll respond to them. You will respond to them with freaking fire, gasoline. You know what I'm saying? You will let them know. Now, I'm going to show you who I am. I'm going to mention your name, and I'm going to give you the reaction that you're looking for. But the wild part about that stupidity is, and that ignorance, is that you all don't have no fire support. You know what I'm saying? No fire support, no ground support, no battle cry. You don't have no battle cry for the ones who's up here cheering you on and saying positive shit about you. You rather deal with the ones that's up here just talking about you recklessly, caring little about how you feel, and they'll continue because they see you doing it with other people until you show them the same attention. In time you show them the same attention, the very same thing you putting in this freaking tweet, they getting paid. All they're gonna do is go out here, screenshot your tweet, and do a live stream on the YTC. From what I know, you've been on some people's, you've been interviewed by some people out here on the YTC, and they posted the video on YouTube, didn't they? So when you group these individuals together and proclaim them to be YouTubers, why are you doing interviews on the very same platform and you're criticizing the format? Hey, Shakur, we're past getting paid. You should be worried about the ticket that you're trying to get fighting a Gervonta Tank Davis or Ryan Garcia and all that shit. That's what you should be concerned about. Because you and Keyshawn Davis had no problem up there kicking it with Ryan Garcia after he's sitting up there just dropping the N-word and all that other shit with the on it. Y'all had no problem, about that. Y'all made it funny. To my, hey man, you're gonna fight me next, right? It's okay for him to sit up here and dog out and say what he said. He gets a pass, and you say, hey man, just cut that out, man. If y'all so eager to forgive, y'all so haste to forgive somebody like that, why are you on X? Why are you on X? You shouldn't even be on X complaining. All you should do is take this that you said. I'm winning, hate comes with it. If you understand hate's going to come with the winning, then you should be great. The comments that you hear shouldn't have you posted up, allocating your time, just because somebody told you something you didn't agree with. You are not the average human being, bro. That's why you've been striving to be one of the best of what you do. That's why you was hurting the way you were when you didn't get the gold medal. But it's difficult. It's quite difficult to really talk to you cats, the younger generation, if there's no attachment there. You know what I'm saying? If it's no attachment, if you really don't know the person, or you say, okay, they saying some real shit, but man, I don't even know that nigga. So, I'm gonna keep my distance. I'm gonna keep my distance. But to sit up here and put a tweet out there talking about people lying and they getting paid. What are you talking about? If you understand that there's channels out here that are monetized and you select to go on the very same platform that you saying people are lying on, they get paid to make a story, the most views, hopefully. Hopefully y'all not dumb enough. Well, if we're talking about being dumb, why is it so easy to activate your response to what people put out here? People be going at you on Twitter. This for a perfect example. If you're saying don't believe it, I hope y'all not dumb enough to believe all the lies. Then why do you respond to people like this? Nigga can't take hard punches. Y'all favorite boxer don't like getting hit. Somebody gonna knock Shakur ass out. You respond, my chin made a titanium, goofy boy. Why did you even respond if it wasn't true though, Shakur? That's what I'm saying. Why would you even respond to this dude? Do you know who he is? Why do you respond to people like that? If he's telling a lie, you know what I'm saying, that you're going to get your ass knocked out. If it's a lie to you, if you deem it unimportant, why respond to it? Why have you responded to so many people that was out here criticizing you on X? Why you selectively choose to engage if you are on here trying to convince us that the YouTubers are the biggest liars? I hope you're not dumb enough to believe it. But somebody say something negative about you, that you boring, or your chin is suspect and you don't want to go in there with a puncher, or you don't want to, you're afraid. You're very much afraid of losing again, and you go up here and try to explain something. If it's a lie, then shouldn't you just let it go? You should just leave it the fuck alone. You shouldn't even worry about it. Show it no mind. You know what I'm saying? Because hopefully you're not dumb enough to believe everyone that's coming at you on the X platform. Because X is popping just as big as the YTC, to be honest with you. To be honest with you. You shouldn't even give them a half measured approach, to try to engage in a conversation. Just to try to say, okay, let me get some logic. Like, when you came over here to the YTC and you was trying to explain to some content creators, and obviously it was clear that they didn't fuck with you, Shakur. It was clear, but you wanted to sit there and continue to engage with them and try to prove, say, hey, what make you think you know about boxing? But look, Shakur, this is why I'm saying this doesn't make too much sense that you're putting out a tweet like this, because you would rather sit down with, once again, some people that have said a negative shit about you, instead of you holding true to your own words and not being dumb enough to believe it. You sit down as if you're trying to prove to them why it's not true. If it was fake from the beginning, you never should have sat down and tried to go one mano tit for tat with them to try to prove if it was truth to that or a lie. Why? You shouldn't even gave it the time of day, man. You should just let that shit ride. You're Shakur Stevenson, 3-division champion, 3-division world champion. And you're allotting time to individuals that have something unkind to say about you, as if the hypocrisy that you're sipping on doesn't intoxicate you enough to make you realize and say, you know what? I'm really going against my own word. I say, hey, I hope y'all not dumb enough to believe it, but I'm dumb enough to be over here responding to something that I don't believe, but yet I want to prove to them that it's not true to begin with. So me showing up trying to prove to them it's not true to begin with, that makes all the sense in the world. That makes all the sense in the world for me to show up and just allocate my time to this particular individual, visuals plural, to prove to them. Them saying I'm scared to fight Tank. I'm this, I'm that. I need to prove to them. But you said not dumb enough to believe it. But you make it believable when you come over here and try to prove to them on what they're talking about. If you believe it's just hate, then why make an appearance? Just let it go. If you don't believe, well, it's just let it go. It makes no sense to enter the room right there, Shakur. You want to enter the room and argue with someone who's antagonizing you. Just antagonizing you. Because, a lot of these cats want to be in your space. They can't go in there and beat you in the ring. They ain't trying to beat you in the ring. They trying to beat you outside the mother. And they find it easy to set up a fight with you outside the ring, Shakur, because they don't have to sign no paperwork. They just have to continue to at you. And you allow an at symbol and a notification to pique your interest every single time. So you want to think that, oh well, I'm gonna convince everybody that the YouTubers are the biggest liars, when a lot of people have full-time jobs and this is just a social media platform that they use to disseminate content, just like you use X to put out tweets. What if somebody said these Xers, they're liars? They get paid to make stories and create the most views. Hopefully y'all not dumb enough to believe these Xers. Don't believe them Xers over there when they put out a tweet. Don't believe none of that shit they talking about. Shout out to Carlos Rosado in the building, bro. Salute, man. I see you in the building. I read something on Facebook that Shakur and Tank will fight in November. BW says, unless I see a press conference, then it's just speculation. Well, I am going to speak on that a little bit later because I heard different. But I haven't been interested to talk about it just yet because it's still early and Crawford has a fight this week. So you know how that goes. You know what I'm saying, Carlos? But appreciate you pulling up and dropping it off. Swat Jones in the building. Salute. He said, what Shakur do now? Well, I mean, you can see it for yourself, It's not so much something that bothered me. It's just when it comes to, responding to the content that's out here, the turbulence comes from freaking people responding to comments that they deem as controversial or negative. So Shakur is saying that what he's going to do is encompass a social media platform to say people create lies, but yet he's on a platform in X that people put out false information all the time. And that is the platform that he chooses to be a part of when it disseminates a lot more content, in my opinion, that people want to talk about and the reader may not agree with than YouTube. Because I mean you can put out more tweets a day than you can doing live videos. I mean you can put out tweets every freaking minute if you want to. And depending on, what the algorithm is like and all that, it'll reach its target. It'll reach its target presidents. You're on and you're reading and you've been told they're calling you Shakur Twitterson. So you're basically wrapped up and dedicated to being on X, but you're talking about YTC when both of them have somewhat the same type of format when it comes to disseminating or transmitting information out to the public. A lot of people basing their own opinions. They press enter. It's the same thing. You still have opinions. You have someone else's perspective, their point of view. It's up to the reader to decipher what they deem truth or lies. But when people continue to hit you with lies and lies and lies, and they antagonizing you, and they getting the reaction, you're responding. Well, more and more people to see this, they're gonna come over here and start antagonizing you because they know you're reading it. It's hilarious how most of these athletes complain when majority of the time it's them putting something out there to be reacted to. If you don't want folks to talk about it, stay off social media. Talk to them. So I'm talking about, Carlos. It hasn't it been that these athletes will put out false information? Aren't they guilty of putting out false information just to keep the lens on them until they get it right behind the scenes? They'll put out some information about a fighter that they're not fighting, but since the reaction draws in controversial attention, people just like, oh, let me get up for this. It gets them to emote on demand. They continue to do the shit. It's a trend. And we don't even use the word trend like we used to, but it's a trend in what they do. So they're guilty of putting out information that's false too. They're guilty of responding to people that they don't know. You're on a social media platform complaining about another platform, and then the common denominator between the two platforms is that you don't even have to be on either one of them. You choose to be on them. The common denominator is to stay the fuck off social media. But you rather read what other people have to say. You ain't reading books to further enhance the art of war and all those old combat, those martial art books from old professors and masters of the game. No, you want to read on Twitter the masters of trolling. The masters of trolling. That's you. You want to read the work of the masters of trolling. I get it. You want to absorb this punishment and show people you can fight off the ropes. I get it. Trick says Shakur is a strange character as it is. I saw him spar. He was playing around and his coach got on him. He seemed to be mad. Here it is. You're not listening to your coach. He checks him and he gets mad. Yeah, man. I mean, I don't. It's hard to say. Well, I have all the right words to say because why would I put so much energy in Shakur Stevenson? When he keeps on showing me that he's standing at the door. You know what I'm saying? He continues to just stand at these doors, man, when people make these comments and be nosy. You don't have to stand in the doorway, bro. All you got to do is leave, close the motherfucker, go somewhere else. You don't have to stand in the doorway and peek through the crack. Let me see what he got to say right there. Oh, shit, he talking about me. They talking about me. And then you got some people that'll be excited and mad at the time. Oh man, they talking about me. Yeah. But no, I don't like what they saying though. You have the option. What is the common denominator, bro? You don't need me to break this down for you. You're on one social media platform that's known to put out controversial narratives and content and inner, you know what I'm saying, inner engagement. That means pressing that enter button and allowing that tweet to be engaged by the readers, whoever they may be. You like it. You like being a part of that process, and you continue to be a part of that process. But yet you're complaining about what's going on YouTube when you are on Twitter complaining about what people saying about you. So what is the difference from a tweet and people doing a live stream video or interview with you? Because I've seen you on several interviews, and I'm trying to find out, are you grouping the people that you have chose to do an interview with on the YouTube? Are they liars? I mean, are they liars? The one that you selected to sit down because you felt that they checked off all the boxes and they was intellectually honest? I mean, seriously, you're gonna keep fucking around and being media promiscuity for real. Shakur showed a lot of immaturity this year. One thing for sure, you can get in his head and under his skin by criticizing him. If he like this winning, if he like this winning, damn, what the L gonna do to him? Man, talk that fire, man. Talk that fire. What? What? Come on, man. Y'all dropping some great points. How is he gonna be when he take the L, man? And look, I didn't even come on here, Squaw, talking about no freaking giving you scenarios that include him taking the L. You know what I'm saying? I didn't come in here with no adverse scenarios, bro. I was just up here trying to help him understand, like, dude, you want people to believe. He want people to believe that he's doing something that's never been done before. You look, he's lacing up gloves, right? And he's saying he what? He don't get hit. I'm the hardest man to get hit. He's doing something different. This is what Shakur Stevenson wants y'all to believe when it comes down to what he's doing. Boxing's been in the game for years upon years upon years. But for Shakur is at a point right now where he's saying, hey, I don't get hit. He wants you to say, yeah, I'm a boxer, but ain't nobody ever did what I'm doing in the ring. He wants you to believe when he goes out there and perform, this is what you see. Shakur wants you to believe that he can do the difficult shit unlike anybody ever did it in the sport, man. For real. For real. That's what I get from him, man. Shakur say, I don't need no horse. I do not need a horse, y'all. I can do this shit on my own, man. Trust and believe. I can run this course faster than a full-blown horse. I can go out there as a human being and go in there and fight and only get touched twice. And I'm trying to tell you, that's the most entertaining technical display that you ever seen in boxing. Forget what you think you need to see and what the greats gave you. No, I'm telling you that what I'm giving you is saying, hey, I get hit least of everyone. They can't touch me. And look, a part of me saying, okay, cool. I'm never recommending a fighter go in there and take punishment, extreme punishment. But you have those individuals, whoever they may be, they're collectively saying things that don't put you in a good light. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. When the Edwin De Los Santos, it took them back to Jeremiah Nakatili. And then Jeremiah Nakatili, before that, it was Toka Kunklari. You won both of those fights, sure enough. But you was very safe. Very safe. And there's nothing wrong with being safe in boxing. There's nothing wrong, Shakur. For real, because you can box. For real, you can box. It's nothing wrong with being safe. But what happens when you run into a fighter that has no safety? Tank says there's no safety on the Glock. What happens when you run into a fighter that takes you and removes you by force outside your comfort zone, and they're not all about any type of safety. It's all about pure recklessness and abandonment. What is gonna happen? You know what I'm saying? What is gonna happen? You got to ask yourself, through the entertainment value of the consumers who's paying to come sit down and watch you fight. Yes, you're the fighter. You can say, "Oh, I'm the fighter. Y'all come watch me." But it's just like you choose to be on social media platforms. They can select to see you fight. It's their money at the end of the day. That's where I think you are a bit delusional when it comes to, talking about grouping these fans and content creators and everything else, and what they supposed to view you as, the respect that you believe you deserve. I understand you believe at a certain level in boxing that the respect should be at a high point. I get it, Shakur. But if you're gonna go in there and you have people criticizing you about not getting hit, because you say hitting and not getting hit is the smarter. But if you the both fighters that surround your left and right flank, Andre Ward and Terrence Crawford, they have been hit. They have been in fights where they've been hit. Andre Ward was hit, got off the canvas, and came back. Bud has been hit and through adversity still won the fight. A lot of fight fans are curious on how you're gonna respond when you get wobbled or when you get touched. And your sign is, no, I get hit the least. Why I need to put myself in a position like that if I can just go in there and be technically safe? They choose to go in there and get hit. Well, hey, y'all. They say, Carlos, exactly, bro. There's a load of athletes who stay off social media and people don't talk about them. But trouble is, they're not talking about them at all. So it's a two-way thing. I have to look you up. I don't know who you are, but I have to look you up. All right, Malachi? Because I don't know who you are. Let me hold on for a second. My thing is, right? Okay, shout out to you, brother, right? I don't know how old you are. I don't know who's running your page. Real talk. I'm looking and it seems you're at the Nationals, so salute to you for pulling up and even dropping on my page. But hey, do me a favor though when you do that. All right, because you young in the game. Like I said, I don't know who's running your page. But give us a little bit more information than to say what up number one ranked in the country. I have no idea who you are. Just give a little bit more information of who you are if this is the first time you showing up on the page. That's all. It's just some decorum because you have a lot of people that can hit the replay or tuned in right now, right? That may not know who you are like myself. If you put enough information, then they can look you up afterwards. And going to your page, you are an amateur that's coming up in the sport. So yeah, it's good to know who you are and do a little bit more research on you. You feel me? So just put a little bit more information out there. You're number one ranked in the country, your age, where you fighting out of, what gym and shit like that, all right? For sure. But salute to you for pulling up, man. So I was thinking about that just now. If winning equal hate, because interviews and stuff like that. Yeah, the amateurs, man, y'all should get interviewed too. But just give us a little bit more info, bro. Winning equal hate. What's losing gonna equal double or triple hate? How's he gonna handle that? Yeah, Malachi Ross, man, is an amateur fighter from what I see on his page. So that's a legitimate fighter. I don't know if he's running his page or not. But if you're still in here, just give a little bit more info on your page, and when you got your next fight coming up, it's not gonna hurt nothing. You know what I'm saying? Just give us a little bit more information on who you are, where you fighting out of, what gym you out of. You know what I'm saying? How old are you? If it's your coach, you know what I'm saying? Salute to you. Just drop the info so we'll know on the replay game. I'm telling you, man, Shakur got the glass house shining right now. Hey, man, shout out to the hottest chat in the MF and game, man, for just always interacting about boxing. Like I tell you, I'll take quality over quantity any day. I'll take grown ass individuals that's able to think for themselves and not just basically, going along with the flow. Just because I'm supporting the fighter heavy or my topic is what it is. Paludas, what's good? Shakur talking about clickbait sports TV. Content entertainment, salute. No, the whole point is that's a sport, that Toby. That's a sport. I understand there's certain people that's providing Shakur with aliases and all that. If I'm really on my hot grease, yeah, I'll dress him up. But I'm not even here with that for Shakur. I don't dislike Shakur. I was once his age. You know what I'm saying? I was once his age. Real talk. I was once Shakur Stevenson's age. You know what I'm saying? Even though I was damn near over halfway through my Marine Corps career towards retirement, I was once his age. We do crazy shit at 20. I know I did, in our 20s. You do crazy shit, but I'm not comparing where I was and where he was. All I'm saying is when it comes to your actions right now, you're looking for the 10, the 15. Just think about how long it took your mentor Crawford to start getting these huge paychecks. He wasn't getting that at your age. So, Shakur, to be honest with you, you have to understand one thing, right? You have two people, and Andre Ward and Terrence Crawford, when they was your age, they really wasn't putting out for the media in a big way. Like, yeah, Andre Ward, Olympic gold medalist. Absolutely. He did his freaking thing. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the anomalies. You look how long it's been since we won a freaking gold medal. Not to mention the ones that was robbed and stolen from some US boxers, but you have to take in consideration that Crawford was well in his 30s before he really started getting a big payday. And then he really didn't fuck with the media. So you got to ask yourself, are you going to be more user-friendly with the media or you don't care? So if you don't care and you want to be the villain like Mike, you're going to have to start taking more risks than what you do. If you feel that you just want to go in here and be a technical professor, well, you're not totally understanding the very same platforms that you own. Because when it comes to tech, you're a youngin'. When it comes to the tech era, things are changing. You have people that can look at something and it can be exactly what we look at it to be, and they see it as something else. Like, say for instance, when I don't even want to. I don't even want to talk about it, but freaking the intro to the Olympics, the opening ceremony to the Olympics, the Last Supper, the disrespect of Christianity. People sit up there and say, I didn't see anything. You know what I'm saying? So all I'm saying, you live in an era where people are sending messages right blatantly to your face. But people look at it like, no, I didn't see any wrong in that. Just like they're trying to describe what a woman is today. Oh, I'm not. I'm a woman. No, you're not. Your mom. Now she's a woman. I'm a woman now too. No. Your mom's was a woman because she didn't have to have no surgeries and she birthed you. Last time I checked. You know what I'm saying? It gets very technical. People sit up here and see things that they know it's a certain way, but they'll try to say it's something else. You're in that era, Shakur. You're thinking about, oh, it's just gonna be me, bro. It's you gotta understand, man. We boxing has changed the fuck up. Do you see what's going on? Possibility with Turkey Al-Sheikh. He has pretty much, the wind has blown open the door, man. Who would have thought boxing being a powerhouse the way it has in the U.S. for so long, now that we will have someone with the money, someone that we really haven't heard or been used to, familiar with for decades at a time. Now he's coming over here making the fights that we've been starving to see. Shakur, you have to understand, life is changing. So if you're going to say, well, I don't care what other people say, well, you're never going to get the 10 to 15 or $20 million paycheck. You're going to keep hoping and hoping and hoping, and y'all niggas are fighting once or twice a year. So you got to understand, things are changing. All that, hey, I wouldn't suggest anybody get hit, but it's hit or not get hit. Okay. If you believe that Floyd Mayweather never got hit, okay, cool. If you think that, hey, you can just go up here and you can be safe and the fans are going to pay pay-per-view, cool. These fighters are now looking at it like, oh, man, Turkey Al-Sheikh got all the money, so you're not going to go over there and force his hand at anything. He knows who's the money makers and who he wants to see in the big fights. He knows. This man ain't new to the sport. But Shakur, if you don't understand that you live in a tech era and people, it take a lot more for them to be interested. Like when I was coming up, it wasn't a lot of channels that was available for us. So therefore, when boxing came on, we was like, oh my God, we got a boxing match. Who's fighting? Oh, okay, man, Larry Holmes. Oh, hell yeah. We was happy boxing was coming on. But now you have such a isolated, you know what I'm saying, society where everybody is just doing their own thing. In order for them to remove themselves from that state of isolation when it comes to social media and look at something in real time, you have to be exciting, Shakur. You have to understand. You want to say, pop the middle finger, say fuck them and all that. It's not going to work out great for you. Because if you think Turkey Al Sheik is going to give you the $50 million payday and you're going to continue to do the exact same thing just because all of a sudden, oh man, they ain't worrying about pay-per-view numbers no more. They ain't worried about that. You got Turkey Al Sheik. They think Turkey Al Sheik just going around here just dropping the bag, dropping the bag, dropping the bag. Oh man, I want to get on that card. I want to get on that card right there. I need to get on that card right there. Where Turkey at? Where Turkey at? Hey, Bud. That's your guy. That's your guy. Give me that. Look, he may be hoping and wishing that since Bud Crawford is in good with Turkey Al Sheik, that he don't have to do anything. He just, he go in there and get the bag one time, and then he can get some small paychecks, 2 or 3 small paychecks, and then try to go back. You know what I'm saying? People that know Bud is feeling real good right now because this relationship with Turkey Al Sheik may potentially get Ward paid. Ward is back for a reason. Just like Mace left hip hop and came back, Ward is back for a reason. I don't want to say the reason why I think he is. Ward is back for a reason now. It wasn't just for all the smoke fight. It ain't just to sit on the couch and do an interview with Terrence Bud Crawford. Nah. If the money is there and they've been talking behind the scene, man, Andre's about to come back and put his O on the line, bro. Period. Real talk. Hey, shout out to IOTBA Boxing Talk in the building. The Spit Bucket Podcast on deck. Salute to him, man. Y'all definitely be sure to check out IOTBA Boxing Talk. The GOAT in the building. You know what I'm saying? Check out his content. They just had a fire live the other day. Man, continue to support these brothers, man, doing their thing over there. Real talk. Continue to support them. Conquest on deck, man. I see you. Say, for example, I heard several YouTubers saying Tank team sent Shakur offer. WTF, why are they reporting this? So, if just look at it this way, Conquest. Shakur Stevenson, like I said, he's on X, reading all this stuff. And look, brother, you're telling me what's out there to the general public. So if you seen it, right? If you seen it, did Shakur see it? If Shakur seen it, has he spoken on it? Because he's on here talking about the YouTubers are the biggest liars. So if the YouTubers are lying about Tank Team sending him an offer, why he hasn't spoke on it? Oh, my fault. You're gonna selectively you're gonna be very selective on who you choose to say this lying. Because if by chance Team Davis didn't send you an offer, but it's getting some buzz and it's picking up and they didn't send you an offer and you choose to just hands off. I'm gonna stay off this. I'm just gonna see what they say. Just another thing, they puppetize the social media too. Like they'll be selective on what they choose to respond to. So if it wasn't true, he should have spoken. If it was true, he should have spoke on. Why? Because he has a damn schedule. He has a schedule. He always loved responding to shit. Seriously. He always loved responding to shit like that, their conquest. So that's a good question, man. You know what I'm saying? That's a good question. So if by chance someone knows or spoke on this, Should Shakur speak on it? If it's already out to the general public, and I'm guessing you're saying somebody on Team Davis team sent Shakur a contract, offer. Let me correct myself, an offer. Then why isn't he talking about it to verify or deny? That's all I'm saying. To verify or deny. Swat Jones say that is where some fighters lose me on the wave. Fight how you want and feel how you feel. That's fine. Just don't ask for my money while saying I don't know shit. No thanks. Hey man, I'm in total agreement with you, bro. Talk that grown man talk, bro. Because look, they don't like hearing grown men talk. Unless they feel it's being real when you say bitch ass nigga, hoe ass nigga, hoe. No. Talk the grown man talk when it comes to logical conversation. Logical conversation is what? What's the logical conversation, Shakur? You're gonna do what you want to do. So the people that don't agree with what you're doing, what you want to do, because they're the consumers, he said, just don't ask for my money. I mean, that's a fair exchange, ain't it? I mean, if we're the consumers on the outside, for somebody to say, just don't ask for my money. If you're gonna continue to have this insipid type style, this type of banal type of performance, don't ask for my money. But some people level of arrogance may be because who they know. Shakur may be behind the scenes listening, or they may have some things set up where they may be trying to get that turkey out of sheep money. But Turkey is just not out here throwing money away. There's a lot of boxers out here that's believing that he's the way, the truth, and the light. You know what I'm saying, Io? Bring the truth to the power. You know what I'm saying? Hey, they may be thinking turkey out of sheep is the way, the truth, and the light, man. They're trying to get over there and get that money. But when it comes to grown man talk, bro, if you continue to fight the way you fight and you feel like, okay, you have your fans, you have the fans or your fans or casuals or whatever the group is, you know what I'm saying? They feel some type of way. Some may have no problem because they're heavy Shakur supporters, real talk, and some might be griping and shit like, I don't agree with that because you're better than that. You gotta take risks, like, you know what I'm saying? Like if somebody said that they saw you sparring and your coach corrected you and you got mad, then okay, you might get on here and say Trick was lying, but then turn around, we can pull up the video where Crawford was telling you, yeah, you was moving, but your hands wasn't moving. And then you're trying to tell him because Shakur might feel like he's on Crawford's level. Yeah, I was moving and I was doing this, the dude, and you just keep on talking while the legends are talking. He may feel that what he's accomplished, in his WBC fight, right? He may feel like, I don't care what you think. I'm just like he said, I'm going to fight the way I want to fight. So really, he's not trying to be the people's champion. And right now, he's 3 divisions in, just like Crawford. He may feel that he's in the conversation to talk when Crawford's talking. When it comes to boxing, of course. As a man, you can talk when you want. But he may feel like he is on the same level to talk when Crawford's talking. Because they both have 3 divisions to their name. But obviously, there's internal separation to the achievement and accolades that are cataloged for both fighters. That's where the range and depth separates. You know what I'm saying? That's where it separates. That's where you find out who is on the ground floor and who is up in the suites. when it's time for them to hang up the gloves and be recognized. You know what I'm saying, Shakur? So when Swar says, just don't ask for my money while saying I don't know shit, no thank you. Does he have a point or not? Because he's not the only one that feels that certain type of way. There's a lot of us out here as boxing fans first. Okay? Boxing fans first. Because there's a lot of cats that wasn't a part of this YouTube game because YouTube wasn't heavy like that. They was on Facebook or they was on somewhere else. They was going to fights. You know what I'm saying? So these fighters that just say YouTubers, no, you cannot group boxing fans as YouTubers and then say we're liars. They're the biggest liars because people are gonna say you're the biggest. Okay, if you jumped in the ring with Devin Haney post fight and he just walked away from you and go over here and get a big money fight with Ryan Garcia, I mean, who's talking about that? Nobody's talking about that. You had no effect. Yeah, you walked in and he walked out into a Ryan Garcia fight. It really didn't matter to Team Haney that you walked in. Yeah, you got a little publicity. People's like, yeah, Devin Haney didn't show you any love. But guess what? Hey, he went on to a bigger and better fight, man. Seriously. He went on to a bigger and better fight, bro. You know what I'm saying? So you have to understand the tech world is on deck. The way society views things of importance has changed. Changed, man. It's changed. Real talk, it's changed, bro. Real talk, it's changed. So if you think you have, the entire masterpiece figured out, then I'm just curious to what's the longevity on it. What's your expiration? Is it infinity? What's your expiration on that? Real talk. Like, what's your how are you gonna allow this to extend? Like you, let me see how old Shakur Stevenson is. Right, quick. How are you gonna be able to have longevity with this type of mentality that you got to just say, I don't care how people feel. You're 27 years of age. So let's give you another dime on that. Give you 10 years, 37 years of age. How do you plan on within 10 years to make $100 million off, not giving a damn about what anybody else think? Now you're getting somebody like Turkey Al Sheikh that he's not going to just give you a $20 million fight without putting you in there with a $20 million opponent. You know what I'm saying? Not so much that both of you all are worth 10 million, but just to say, okay, Shakur, you did enough, and I think you can be an addition to this card, but we want you to fight this person right here. In no conversation, people are going to look at it like, say, okay, I got Gervonta Davis and I got Shakur Stevenson. Who I want to see fight first? It's not even a freaking debate. It's not even debate. They're going to say, I want to see Tank. It's not even debate. I don't care how many Shakur fans. Like I said, I don't have no smoke with no Shakur Stevenson. I'm just saying. It doesn't take an entire elite group of math geniuses to figure out the possibility of writing that equation on the damn board and say, what is the percentage of the problem if you take two fighters, one Gervonta Davis with a record of, and Shakur Stevenson with a record of, and you take their losses, which is 0, and then you put it over Y, and Y would fans want to come out there and see both fight? And then you'll go through them writing and doing the equation and going through all the rhythm. You know what I'm saying? It won't even have to go that far. They're gonna say, I want to see Tank Davis fight. Because he's gonna give you some type of indication, as always, that he's gonna close the show dramatically. Promptly. That's all. That's all, man. That's all I'm saying. He's going to do it. That's what he's going to try to do. Now, my whole point wasn't to sit up here and, like, offend Shakur Stevenson by, putting X on his glove and stuff like that. But I'm like, dang, that's what you're doing. You're typing a lot. They had this thing, keyboard warrior. You say, I'm not a keyboard warrior. I actually fight. But in reality, you are paying a lot. You are giving a lot of damn time to the keys now. You're spending a lot of time on the keys. You should be spending a lot of time on trying not to allow this to happen anymore. You don't want this to be a topic of discussion. You just can't go up here and say, well, I'm winning, hate comes with it. No, you got to step up, bro. You got to stay away and don't become this guy right here. You need to stop paying attention to everybody that's out there saying something about you and believing that you're going to come up here and release a tweet and say, oh, those same people that's on the platform that you entertain are the biggest liars and they get paid. So don't be dumb enough to believe the lies that they putting out there. Man, please. Please. And this is the thing I'm going to say. Dealing with last night's fight. Shout out to Leon Edwards, man, and Bilal Muhammad. Muhammad went out there and did his thing. I'm going to do a separate live on that. But that fight with Clarissa Shields and Vanessa, man, like I said before, she took every punch that Clarissa had in the first round to bring in the second. And all of a sudden, she just started goddamn dropping down to the floor. Man, get the fuck out of here, dog. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit, man. Come on, man. Y'all continue to hold it down. Shout out to the hottest chat in the MF and game. Tomorrow is the 1-year anniversary of the T-Mobile massacre. You already know what it is, man. You already know what it is. History is upon us. Join me for the 1-year anniversary